Was not expecting.
Whoa, went to town on this engine.
So smooth.
I don't jump into a transit van. AMG's first ever.
Definitely buy one of these.
Whoa.
Hello world, welcome back to Accelerate and welcome to Ian's Mercedes C32 AMG.
Now don't feel bad if you don't know what that is. A lot of people know your more modern C63s and things like that, but this I think is the AMG the world forgot. So I'm really excited for this. Let's get started.
Let's check it out.
So guys, you join us out on the road in Ian's C32. And man, this is a special car. We'll get into all the nerdy stuff in a bit. First of all, obviously, I want to say a massive thank you to Ian. We really appreciate you bringing the car out, man. And the reason we especially appreciate it, this car doesn't see the road. It only sees the road sort of 6 months out of the year. We are in December at the moment, and Ian has dug it out just for us. He's taxed it, insured it, and everything just for us. And I do want to say very quickly, the car is for sale. So if there's any genuine interest, watch the video because you're going to want this thing. Any genuine interest, drop us a message and we'll put you in touch with Ian. So, like we said, this is a Mercedes C32 AMG, and as I said in the intro, a lot of people don't know what these are. Everyone knows your usual C63s, and a lot of people even know the C55, which was the successor to the C32. Now, the interesting thing about the C32, as far as I'm aware, it was AMG's first ever V6. It was the first V6 they'd done. They'd done straight sixes in the past with the C36, is it?
Correct.
Yeah, there we are. Obviously, AMD didn't just get a V6 from Merc and just bolt the Supercharger on. There was so much more that went into it. So they got it. It's based on the 320, obviously the 3.2 V6. But what AMG has done, they've done everything. This got new crank, new pistons, new conrods, oil squirters, oil pump. Everything has been upgraded to accommodate the Supercharger. From the factory, they reckon about 354 brake horsepower, and I think it was 450 Newton meters of torque. I think it was from the factory. 0 to 60 was done in around 5 seconds. And like I said, this is very special because the predecessor to this was the C43, which was a V8. The successor was the C55, which was a V8, both naturally aspirated. So it's as if they just went completely out of their comfort zone to go for a supercharged V6. Now, my brother had the CLK55, which was the 5.4 V8. He was a bit underwhelmed. Now, I've been in this car before. We had a little blip. And there's something about, I don't know if it's the Supercharger that gives it that character, but this is by no means a standard one. So do you want to give us a quick run through of what's been done to this beauty?
Basically, yeah, it's had the smaller supercharger pulley fitted to it, which is also included a remap.
Yeah.
We decided to also separate the coolant system from the main engine system. So
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's impressive.
Bypass, you literally 10 degrees cooler on the supercharger cooler. Via from the engine. We get the exhaust being done stainless steel white piece.
Yeah. Sounds amazing.
Most of the gremlins that came with these vehicles was wiring.
That's a really interesting one, yeah. And I'm sure anyone who owns a 203, this is a 203,
This is a 203,
right? Yeah. Apparently it was a 203 thing, wasn't it? There was known.
You have issues with spurious engine management faults.
So you've had a whole new wiring loom.
Complete new loom from Mercedes, and it's cured it instantly.
That's mad. Well, I want to say Ian's owned this car for what? Just over 8 years, you said, was it?
10 years.
10, was it?
10 years.
Wow, there's me. So he's owned the car for 10 years, and as he said, he's done all of it, because a lot of the questions, we've done a dyno video on this car, so if you haven't seen that, go back and watch it. That was a really interesting one. And when he said we were doing a full feature, a lot of people ask about the reliability. Now, over 10 years, old Mercedes, old AMG, you're gonna have problems. But you said overall, you're quite happy.
Yeah,
with...
this has been a pretty reliable car. I say I was using it as a daily driver.
That's mad.
You know, it returns a decent 26 miles to the gallon if you drive it like Miss Daisy.
Yeah, when you said it is. I mean, AMG have always been to me the whole Jekyll and Hyde thing. You can cruise, like you said, in comfort in a Mercedes, but then it turns into a German muscle car when you need it. Another thing I just want to say a massive hats off to Ian. The 203s, they're just renowned for rust issues. You've been through all that with the underneath. You've literally had to cut the floor out. So say we have got some pictures of it underneath. This car is absolutely, the pictures don't do it justice, trust me. When you see it underneath, you will appreciate it. But yeah, I think we'll, although it is a bit of a grim day, we'll find some good roads and then we'll see what this thing can do. She wants to spin. Whoa.
She wants to spin, man.
Gee, look at it, just keeps pulling. Oh my God. That was our first, but like I said, I have been in this car before. It was a while ago. All I could see was the traction control flashing. But then when it got traction, first of all, the noise, there's something about, it's not stupidly loud, but the noise, you do not realise the speed you're doing in this thing. And that is what murks that noise. Look, whoa, that's so impressive. We were saying this, there's so many things that make this car special. This is why I love it. Me and Ian were talking, he did a little bit of research. There are 300 registered within the UK and only 200 of those are on the road. And we were saying, you're not going to see another, chances are you're not going to see another one of these. They are getting incredibly rare.
If I were to the sea, maybe I never say fall into the light. Every time I try to breathe, but you're right and carry me where I've loved and I have died.
Right, this is our first AMG.
It is, yeah. Really, yeah.
And like I said, let's talk about starting off with a special one.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I used to own E55, so
yes,
all Mercedes inside of this era feel pretty much the same.
They do.
Until I seen it this morning, I forgot that it was actually supercharged.
Yes.
So
it's so, like, I know the whole point of AMGs of this generation was to be subtle. Yeah. But I mean, this is the pinnacle of, you would not know what this is unless...
No, of course you wouldn't. You think it's another C-Class.
Like yeah, you would.
Yeah.
There's not that much differentiating in between the normal one.
Now it is a bit damp and a bit muddy by here because there's quite a few farms, but let's have a little... Oh! Whoa. Do you know what? I was not expecting that.
Yes, I was hoping to get it because you've... That noise.
It's the pickup, man. It's so smooth, and then you look down and it's like, oh yeah, I'm actually shifting.
That's exactly what I said. I don't want to like take over, but I very quickly want to say, because you booted it then, my only gripe at the moment is the slush box lets it down because the gearing's very long. Yeah. But once you get up there, the pickup's insane.
Like I said, it was really responsive as well. The throttle response is really good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wasn't expecting it to pick up as well as it did. I was expecting it to be quite laboured, quite lumbered, you know?
Yeah.
But it's nice there, and you can't actually grasp how fast you're going until you look down.
I said that,
and that always shows the quality of a car.
Absolutely. I mean, you've nailed it there, and that's exactly what I said to Rio.
Yeah. It feels this generation of Mercedes.
Yes.
So if you've ever driven anything of this era, it feels exactly the same.
Yeah, it does. It's what you expect from a Mercedes, which is, I suppose, is a good thing.
It's a really good thing. It just shows the quality, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That they all drive alike. Like I said, the E-Class drives the same as this. It's mad. They seem to have nailed it. All right, it's quite boring inside and quite bland.
It's very German, isn't it?
Yeah, but it does work and it lasts.
And you've got all the buttons. I mean, everything's sort of where you'd expect it to be. And like I said, this is a special on the AMG. And did you know, AMG's first ever diesel, one that they actually put their print on, was a C30 AMG of this generation. A little bit more nerdy stuff for you.
No, that's good. We like that. Now, we were just saying this, you've got to be really careful with these cars. Obviously, you've got a lot of torque on them rear wheels.
Yeah.
So I'm really, like, I'll get the kick down there and I'll ease off a little bit on the throttle, then power back on.
Oh my God,
it hooks up a lot better then. It does. You don't get that instant wheel spin, and so yeah, you just be a little bit more gentle with it.
One thing me and Ian were saying, I find it amazing that AMG, they went to town on this engine, but they don't come with LSDs. They never came with an LSD.
So it's got open diff.
Yeah,
that's mad.
That's why I was just surprised then that it gripped up. But like you said, as long as you modulate the throttle.
Exactly. Now this is the thing. Now to drive something like this, you've just got to be aware of what you're in. I'm not saying that we're professional drivers anyway, but just respect it. This is an older car, but it's still more fun to drive than anything new.
I'm so glad, because Kenny's you've owned some high-end cars. You owned the E55 is a supercharged V8.
Yeah.
Now my thing, like I said, I haven't driven it yet, but do you know, compared to the 55, the 5.4 V8 naturally aspirated, this feels like it's got more character. I don't know if that's because of the mods.
It does. It feels more playful as well.
It does. Yeah, it wants to go.
I think it's being a smaller package. It feels faster.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the thing I really like about it. Right, it's an old Mercedes. It looks like an old Mercedes.
Yeah.
It drives more like a modern Mercedes should.
Amen.
I
like that. I think you've hit the nail on the head.
The newer Mercedes, the steering's very, very heavy, and I hate it.
Yeah.
This is quite light.
He's had a whole new power steering rack put in and everything. So
but that's what I mean, though. It all works. Even the suspension. Yeah, it's a bit more firm. It's a Mercedes AMG.
Yes.
But you've still got that right quality. You're not compromising.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
well, it's got Bilstein. That's another thing Ian's replaced. He spent a couple of grand. Genuine Bilstein suspension all around. Like I said, underneath, I don't know if you've seen the pictures.
No, I haven't.
Underneath, he's just gone to town, and as I said, he really has done this car well. That's what 10 years of ownership will do for you.
It feels really good. I got to be honest. I'm really impressed with it.
So first impressions being sat behind the steering wheel, like you said, I was going to say it's very much like the CLK when you're sat in here, but you're right, it's every Merc of this generation. If you've ever driven one, you'll know. And let's have a little. So progressive.
It's that top end though. When you get higher up in the rev, the more it seems to pull.
It does. It's so linear.
It is, yeah.
And I think that was the difference. Like I said, I am comparing it to the CLK 55, the 5.4 V8. Very torquey motors, all in the middle, but it just doesn't seem to want to
lazy.
go. It is lazy.
It's a lazy engine.
This is so eager, and that's what's really impressed me.
Definitely, I'd definitely buy one of these over a.
I would have to drive in I would, which is so. You tell someone you buy a V6 over a V8, they'd call you crazy. But
but this doesn't feel like a V6.
No, it doesn't.
It's weird. It doesn't even sound like a V6.
No. But you know, even going into corners,
turning feels really good, doesn't it?
Because Ian said, he was like, "Oh, the steering is a bit heavy. It's a big German muscle car. It's a cruiser."
But I don't think it's that heavy. Like, my father had the CLS, and that felt like a boat, and it also felt so heavy. Everything felt heavy about the car. Now this feels a lot more nimble. 30 by your mind, just cameras. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I really think that this just feels better, even as a sports car, and you've got the 4 doors.
Yeah,
so you've got everything.
It's literally, like you've said, this is what I would expect heavy steering from this. I mean, the C32 was sort of put down for its handling, but I mean, I don't jump into a transit van and complain that it's slow. I wouldn't jump in my old 107 and complain that it's slow.
Yeah, I wouldn't jump in this and think it's going to do the Nürburgring in 7 minutes.
Exactly, that's because I think the C55, they revised a lot handling wise.
Yeah.
It was only given like an extra 20 brake, but it was something like 20 seconds faster around the Nürburgring.
Yeah, great. Fantastic, but I prefer driving it.
Exactly. But this, you jump in, it is a cruiser.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's what you expect from an old AMG.
It's a cruiser that can put a smile on your face.
Yes. Now, we've experienced newer AMGs, and like I said, I keep saying it, to me, this has got a personality, it's got character, which a lot of new cars lack. Well,
I wouldn't buy a C63 AMG. I just wouldn't buy one. They just not for me. No.
Okay.
Whereas I would consider buying something.
Wow,
like this.
okay.
This is just more fun.
What you think of this car has really surprised me today.
Yeah, it surprised me, that's why.
Yeah.
I just thought, okay, it's another C-Class.
Yeah.
But no, it's nice.
I think it is a testament to what Ian's done with it. I mean, the whole car just feels solid.
Yeah, and a testament to Mercedes.
Yeah. so that was a very rare, very unusual AMG, and our first AMG we've had on the channel.
Yeah, and possibly, and I know we haven't had any others, but it's probably going to be one of my favourites because it was the one I was most surprised with. Like I said, I have owned the E55. This just feels more playful. It feels more fun to drive than the E55.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. This doesn't feel like your typical AMG cruiser.
No.
You can have fun in it, which is so surprising.
So say, being a C-Class, obviously is smaller, so I know Mercs are heavy anyway, but this is obviously lighter than the E-Class.
No, you're right. It's always been the smaller sedan, the saloon.
Yeah, to be honest, like I said, the E55 is faster.
Yeah.
But this just feels more fun. We're the only people who could do a feature in 4-degree weather.
Yes, we apologise for the shivering.
Yeah,
but obviously we want to say a massive thank you to Rian once again. And if you are genuinely interested, drop us a message because it is for sale. Really reluctant sale, doesn't want to get rid of it because you've seen how much effort he's put into this thing. Yeah, but anyway, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Brilliant. Let's get out of here.